Okay, so in our previous session, we already have discussed about a website, how how the things are working, what is the meaning of the front end development, what is the back end development, what are the languages or technologies we are using in the front end, back end, and database along with the GIS server. And now, as we know, because this course is related to the WebGIS full stack development. So, anyways, whatever the application we are going to develop, this application is going to run on the web browser. So, we need to understand what exactly we will have in web browser. What are the things are going to impact in our application look and feel, why sometime some applications look and feel are different if we are using different browser. Means sometime like same application, same URL, everything is same, but if you will use Google Chrome, so maybe you will, for some component you will get some different look and feel as compared to if you will use the same application in Mozilla Firefox. If you are going to access the application in MacBook or Mac machine and you are using the browser Safari, so maybe look and feel of the same application in Safari is different as look and feel of the same application in Google Chrome. Sometimes there is a slight difference in color also. Sometimes there is slight difference in the button corners also. So why this difference we are getting? What is the, means where is the problem, or what is the limitations? So these things we need to understand, because whenever we will develop the application, then we need to take care of all these things so that your application look and feel, means UI UX will be stable. And as you know, in market there are many different type of browsers are there. So we are using, different people are using different browser. That is different story ki most of the people are using Google Chrome, but there are many browsers are available in market. After coming to the AI, there are some AI browser also available. So the browser what we are using, these are some common browsers I am just mentioning here. So the Chrome browser is basically the company name, or who is vendor of the Chrome browser. Google Chrome means Google company. Firefox is the owner of the Firefox is the Mozilla Corporation. Edge and Internet Explorer. Edge and Internet Explorer, these browsers are the product of Microsoft. And Safari is the product of Apple. And Opera is the product of Opera. So these are the common browser what we are using, and different browsers are the product of different companies. Why I am showing here and why I am pointing this thing, कि different browser is from different companies, because ultimately if different browsers are coming from different company, then definitely the internal architecture, internal coding, internal flow also will be different for different companies. For us, we are just putting the URL, and press enter, we are able to see the website. But ultimately, when we want to access any website, there are many things is going inside the browser. So that we need to understand what are the main components and how things are working. So here, the browser and vendors, I think we are able to understand. Now after that, as you know, whenever we, as I told you, when we are just putting any URL, so how the flow will be happen when we will write the URL and hit the URL. Then first of all, whatever the URL we will hit, first the request goes to where? First the request goes to the domain name server. What is the role of the domain name server? The role of the domain name server is it will convert or it will translate what is the machine IP. Because as you know, in this world, each and every machine have unique IP. So whenever we are hitting www.u4gs.com, so first this request goes to the DNS server. On DNS server you can imagine like in the DNS server all the mapping is available. Means what is the name of the domain and what is the respective machine IP. Everything is there. So whenever we will hit, so based on first the request goes to the DNS server and our request will get what IP, and based on the IP request will go to the server, and this request what we are sending, after that some process will be done on the server, and the server will send back response to the client, and this response what client will receive from the server, that we are able to see in our web page. Some of the part we already have discussed in our previous session. Now coming to the main part of the today's session, that is very important. Everyone, please try to understand, and if you have any question, any doubt, please tell me. So here we know, like we are using the browser Chrome or we are using the browser Internet Explorer. But now in today's session, we will try to find out what are the components we have in the browser. So here, the first and most important component which we are using, that is the user interface. The component name is what? The component name is the user interface. What normal user are using. We have the address bar, we have the previous button, next button, history button, we will have the print button. So we have many button and many menus in the browser. So the browser what user is able to see, the browser what user is able to use, that is called the, this component is called the user interface. After that, the next important component is the browser engine. So one by one, we will understand what is the role of all these components. So like the second component is the browser engine. Then we have the rendering engine. Then we have JavaScript interpreter. Then we have network. Then we have local storage. And after that, we have the UI backend. So now each and every component we have to understand properly, because whenever you will go for the interview, coding, as you know, most of the people, and even we also, we are also going to use AI to write the code and all, but these things you will not get easily. Okay, so these are the things which now these days people are asking in interview, this level of the question, because definitely people will miss all these things. So here, as I told you, the first is the what? The first main component is the browser UI. In browser UI, we have the address bar, we have the different tab, and we have the different options. Like we have the bookmark option, We have the print option. Then we are coming to the browser engine. What is the use of the browser engine? So browser engine is basically responsible. Browser engine is able to get the request, and it will browser engine is responsible what we will see in our browser. Means let's suppose you will hit uh, tcs.com, or you will hit yo4js.com, then request will go, and after that once the again response will reach to your browser, then browser engine is basically it will decide how things will display in our browser. After that we have the rendering engine. This is the most important part. We will see in detail what are the things we are using in the rendering engine. So rendering engine is basically is the heart of any browser. Rendering engine is the heart of any browser, because the problem what I told you, sometime in different browser when we will access the same application, sometime we will get some small difference in the look and feel. The reason behind for this discrepancy, this is the rendering engine, because different browser are using different rendering engine. These rendering engine has developed on different algorithm. The end result is same, but the algorithm is different. Like the simple example, if we are going to purchase a car, so when you can purchase a Maruti, you can purchase a Hyundai, or you can purchase the BMW. The end result of all the car is same. All the car will be run on the road. But as you know, each and every car manufacturing company, the internal flow or internal design, internal architecture is different. Because of that reason, we are getting some different facility and differences in different cars. Some car are taking the pickup in 2 seconds. Some car are taking the pickup in 1 minute. Some car are taking the pickup in 10 seconds. That is because of the internal heart of the car is different. So similarly, when we are talking about the browser, so in each and every browser, there is a very important term is there, that is the rendering engine. That rendering engine is basically heart of the browser, and because of that reason only we are able to see the discrepancy when we are accessing same URL in different browser. Then after coming to the JavaScript engine, this is also the most important thing of any browser. What is the meaning of the JavaScript engine? If you remember, in our previous session, I already explained you. In web page, there are three most important things we have. One is what? One is the HTML. HTML is basically a structure of the web page, where we will have the button, where we will have the text box, where we will have different component. How how these component will look, how this component looks, this is decided by CSS, because CSS or styles, the responsibility of the style is decide how the component will looks. Now after that, when you click on the button, then what need to execute? When we click on the map, what need to show? When we will zoom, when we will like want when we click on the zoom in button, when we will click on the zoom out button, so what need to do, that is decided by whom? That is decided by the JavaScript. And who is ultimately going to work in the JavaScript? That is the JavaScript engine. So different browser having different JavaScript engine. After that, we will have the networking. What is the meaning of the networking? The meaning of the networking or the role of the networking is when you will hit any URL on any browser, what file you need, what HTML you want to get from the server, what JavaScript you want to get from the server, what are the images we need to get from the server. So, how things are coming from the server, this responsibility is from the networking. If networking is there, then we are able to get all the files. File coming from server to client, that is the responsibility of the networking. But how this files looks to the customer, how all these HTML pages looks to the client, that is the rendering engine responsibility. Now after that we will have the storage or cache. What is the meaning of the storage and cache? I will show you in browser. Whenever you will go to any browser, now basically in all the modern browser there are a facility where you can store some temporary data in browser itself. You no need to use the system memory, you no need to use the system resources. For small information easily you can store where we can store in the browser memory. There are many different type of browser memories are available, that also we will see today. Is this clear to everyone till this point?
Yes.
Okay. Now after that, as we discuss here, so we are going to check the things in more detailed form. So user interface, this browser, what you are able to see, this is called what? This is called the user interface. Means this component is called the user interface. The main functionality what we are using in the user interface, that is the address bar, back button, next button, refresh button, stop button, and bookmark button. There are many more features are there, like you can print, you can add the extension. There are many features are there, but ultimately this component is called what? This component is called the user interface. Now after that, browser engine. Now we will discuss things in detail. What is the basically role of the browser engine? As I already told you, the browser engine works as a bridge between the user interface and rendering engine. Okay, please remember this thing. Means if someone asks you this question in interview, so what is the browser engine and what is the role of the browser engine? So the browser engine is playing a role of manager. A browser engine is basically playing a role of the mediator between the user interface and rendering engine. So according to the input from various user interface, it queries and manipulate the rendering engine. So here the rendering engine and the browser engine is basically between the UI and rendering engine. And as I told you, whenever you are changing, whenever you hit on the button, whenever you click on the text box, anything if you are doing on the web browser, so immediately this browser engine will tell to the rendering engine. Based on that, rendering engine will quickly take the action and it will tell you, yes, need to change the color. Like sometime you have seen in the web page, if you click on the text box, so if you click outside of the text box, the color of the text box will change. If you click on the text box, then color will be changed. So these all things internally when we will click on any text box, what need to change, how these things will be changed. So browser engine is responsible to tell everything to the rendering engine, and engine will respond based on the things, and that thing we are able to see on the web browser. So what is the responsibility of the browser engine? The responsibility of the browser engine is it receive the user request. It receive the user request, coordinate browser activities, tell rendering engine what to display. So that rendering engine will manipulate quickly, and it will send those things which browser engine is telling to show on the UI. So this is the role of the browser engine in our browser. After that, this is, as I told you, this is the heart of any browser. So this browser engine, this is basically, it will be responsible for rendering of any request. Rendering means how things will be displayed on UI. So the rendering engine interpret the HTML, XML document and images that are formatted using CSS and generate the layout that is displayed in the user interface. Like, as you know, when I one second, I will show you one browser so that you will get more understanding on this. Okay, are you able to see my browser?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's suppose if just I will hit here, for example, yo4js.com. So we hit this basically URL. As I told you, कि whenever we will hit any URL, not only yo4js, any URL, so there are many things will be going on in the backend. What are the files my application need from the server, how things are coming. So if I will again, if I refresh this one, so here you can see these all files what you are able to see in the network tab. These all files what you are able to see in the network tab, these all files are those files which my application is expecting from where? From the server. So whenever my application will run, like when I will hit this browser, whenever I will hit this URL, so immediately, as I told you, my application will request all these files to the server, and server will quickly respond, and it will send back all these files to the browser, and then browser is able to show all these content in our UI. Like here, if I, let's suppose, jnet.png, if I click on this, then here in header you are able to see request URL. It means my browser is requesting this PNG to server. My application is requesting this PNG file to the server. Whatever the request we are sending, or whatever the request our application is sending to the server, all these detail you can see in which tab? You can see in the header tab. If you have any confusion how we are getting this one, again I will show you. So if you will see any web application or any browser, just right click and go to inspect. When you will go to inspect, there are many tabs you can see. We have the element, we have the console, we have the source, we have the network. Each and every tab has its own functionality, its own importance. One by one, one by one, we will see. So the thing is like network. What is the purpose of this? Ki whenever you will hit any URL, what are the things we need from the server? What are the things we will need from the server? So all these things you can see here. Ki these are the files our application is sending request to the server. Any if you will click here, this one coaching center.jpg. This request we are sending to the server. Now what response we are getting from the server? You can see in the response page. So if you will go and check in the response page, so you can see this response we are getting from the server. If you will click on the preview, so here you can see this image we are getting from the server. Any request, if you will see any request what we are sending, let's suppose if I click on the about.jpg, so here you can see this image my application is getting from where? Getting from the server. So the network tab, I think you understood. Whatever the file, any JS file, any CSS file, forget about what is the use of all these file. But the thing is, whatever the file we need from the server, all these details we can see here. Ki this file we are requesting to the server. Maybe if let's suppose if I close this one, here all the status you are able to see. What is the its status we are getting here? 200. When we are getting 200, it means everything is fine. We are getting what we need from the server. Sometime some file we need from the server and that file is not available on the server. So maybe that time you will get some red color mark here ki this file is like here. Get v count. We are able to see red color and what it is showing failed. It means to run this one, to get this thing we are facing or our application is facing some error. So immediately you can see here and you can understand, okay, this is the problem we need to resolve. Understood everyone? The meaning and role of the network tab. Clear? Now after that, coming to the as we discuss here, the rendering engine. So in the rendering engine, there are, as I told you, different car have different type of engine. So here also browser is like a car, and in the browser different browser have different rendering engines. So internet explorer internet explorer and edge, like here chrome, edge and opera. Chrome, edge and opera, these browsers are using the rendering engine. Its name is what? Its name is the Blink. Safari. Safari is using the rendering engine. Its name is WebKit engine. Internet Explorer is using the rendering engine. Its name is Trident. Mozilla Firefox is using the rendering engine. Its name is Jico. So the responsibility of the rendering engine is read the HTML, read the styling, build the page layout, and display the web page. So these are the rendering engine, and it is basically people are asking in the interviews which rendering engine Chrome is using. So I think you guys understood Chrome, Opera, and Edge. It is using Blink engine. Safari is using WebKit engine. Internet Explorer is using Trident, and Mozilla Firefox is using Chico. So maybe if you will get some little bit different color, or maybe if you will get some different is little bit different shape in the button, so that is because of what? That is because of the rendering engine. Anything anything which is differ from one browser to another browser, the reason behind this is what? The reason behind this is the rendering engine. Because of that reason, we are saying rendering engine is a heart of any browser. Now, after that, coming to the JavaScript interpreter, that is also very, very important thing. But why I am not saying ki this is the heart of the browser? Because JavaScript we are using to make our web page dynamic. JavaScript we are using to make our application or make our page dynamic, where if I click on the button, then what need to do? If I click on the map, what need to do? But before using the JavaScript, we already have what? From the starting onward, we are using the HTML. If you are not able to see the map, if you are not able to see the button, then there is no meaning of the JavaScript, because ultimately JavaScript is going to run if you click on the button, if you click on the map, if you click somewhere on your UI. So because of that reason, we are not saying कि JavaScript interpreter is the heart of the browser. Rendering engine is what? Rendering engine is the heart of the browser. So here, now when we are talking about the JavaScript interpreter, so JavaScript interpreter is basically when we are writing the JavaScript code. When we are writing the JavaScript code, here one important thing I want to explain you, that is basically because we are using one word here. That word is what? That word is the interpreter. So what is the actual meaning of the interpreter? That first I want to tell you, so that you can here you all are from the computer background, correct? Or basically you all are using what? You all are using the computers for the GIS work. And here I have one question. When this is computer, and this is human. Okay. And as you know, any machine will understand which language? Can anyone tell me? Any machine will understand which language?
It understands binary.
It's understand the binary. Very good. So here, normally when we are writing the code, this code always we are writing in which language? English. Correct? We are writing the code in which language? We are writing the code in English always. But the problem is this code we need to run where? We need to run on this computer, because then only we can get the expected output. So whenever we are writing the code, then, like, if I will take one small example, like, uh, our Prime Minister, like Mr. Modi, he is not enough good in English, correct? He is very good in Hindi, but he is always visiting many countries: Germany, China, Japan, US, Russia, but he don't know English. Then how is surviving? How is surviving without like without local language?
Translator.
Translator. Actually, I forget the name of the lady. That basically lady is the translator of Mr. Modi. So the thing is, whenever whenever Modi ji is visiting in any country, so that translator will be there, so that whatever, let's suppose English and Hindi or Japanese, so whatever the Modi ji will tell, that translator will translate to the Japanese language. When Japanese language kuch comments are there, then that lady will translate to the Hindi. So like this communication is going. Same thing here also. Computer understand only binary. Binary means 0101 only. And when we are writing the code, so we need here one translator. We need one translator. That translator will take our code, convert to the machine language, or convert to the binary language. So binary language is also called the machine language. Okay? Binary language and machine language both are same. And in binary or machine language, the character what we are using, that is what? That is only 010101, and this machine will understand only machine language or binary language, where it will get 010101. So here, the most important thing what I'm trying to explain you, when we are writing the code in any language, C, C sharp, Java, JavaScript, any code when we are writing, because we are writing in English, so we need one translator. That translator will translate our code to the binary code, then computer can understand. So it is fine. Now I think you understood कि translator का role क्या है. What is the role of the translator? Now in computer there are two type of translator we have. How many type of translator we have? Two type of translator we have. Type 1 is basically, it is called the compiler. Type 1 translator is called the compiler, and type 2 is called the interpreter. Type 1 translator is called compiler and type 2 is called the interpreter. In this world, whatever the languages are available, whatever the languages are available, that languages either in the category of compiler or in the category of interpreter. You will not get any language which basically compiler also using that language or interpreter also using that language. So we don't have any language which work on both compiler and interpreter. So any language, when we are talking, any language either using the compiler or using the interpreter. So we can check like this language is a interpreter based language or compiler based language. So you can easily get ki this language is the compiler based language or interpreter based language. Now the thing is ki what is the difference between the compiler and interpreter? I tell you as a layman language. I will again take the example of Modi ji only. Let's suppose Modi ji went somewhere for the for a speech in any country. Okay. Now translator is there. As you know, translator is there, and translator is very important because the local language people will not understand what Modi ji is telling. So in that case, now how translator will translate what Modi ji is telling? There is two way. One is One is that translator will translate line by line. Means Modi ji has delivered one line, translator will translate that line. Then Modi ji has delivered second line, then translator will translate second line. This is the one way of translation. Another way of translation is what? Another way of translation is Modi ji will deliver complete speech. That guy have complete speech. Now this guy will convert complete speech in Chinese language. Okay. So there are two type of translation is there. One is this guy will be do line by line translation, and another way is that guy will do complete translator in translation in one shot. So here there are two type of translator as I told you we have. One is compiler based translation and one is interpreter. So interpreter means what? Interpreter means when line by line when translator is happening, then this is called what? Interpreter based translation. And when complete code at once, when the complete code will translate in one shot, that is called what? That is called the compiler based translation. So as I told you, any language in this world having or comes under the either compiler based language or interpreter based language. So when we are talking here, JavaScript interpreter means JavaScript is following, or JavaScript comes under which category? JavaScript will come under which category based on this? It will come in which category?
Interpreters.
Interpreter based language. So JavaScript is a language which is following the interpreter based conversion. So this is the subsystem of parsing the JavaScript code and all this. So here the interpreter, the role, why I explained you all this story to just explain the meaning of this interpreter. So now I think you understood what is the meaning of the interpreter. Interpreter will take the JavaScript code and convert to the machine language so that your computer can understand and do accordingly. So here what are the different type of interpreter are available in different browser. So in Chrome we have the interpreter. That interpreter name is what? The interpreter name is the V8. In Safari the interpreter name is the JavaScript core. In Firefox, interpreter name is the Spider Monkey. Edge and Internet Explorer are using the interpreter. That interpreter name is what? Chakra. Understood? What is the meaning of the JavaScript interpreter and what is the name of the interpreter browser is using internally? Clear to everyone this thing? Now after that, coming to the network. So as I already explained you, the meaning of the network is network, the responsibility of the network is to get all the required file from the server and make things available for the rendering engine. Now after that, coming to the local storage. So as I told you, the local storage means what? Now these days in browsers, one second, are you able to see my browser? Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So now here, if you will, if I will go to the developer tool, so here again the same thing. I already shown you network. Now coming to the memory. Network we have seen, coming to the memory. So whenever you will come to the memory, so here there are many different type of memories we will have. Like I want to show you this thing in some different place. Are you able to see this Yo4JS website or not?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So here, if you will come not in the memory, if you will come to the tab application, if you will come to the tab application, so here left side you can see we will have the local storage, we will have the session storage, we will have the extension storage, we will have index DB. So these all are the storage facility we have which are available in all the browser. These these spaces or these storage or local storage we are using when we are developing a website. Let's suppose you are developing a multilingual website. So you need to remember user want to see what language website, English or Arabic. So we can store this information in the local storage, and this local storage information we can get in any page, so that based on this information you can understand what language you need to show, English or Arabic. So this is the use case, but ultimately thing is what I want to show here. In this tab application you can see all these local storage we have, which normally we are using for storing the small size of memory. Okay, we are storing small information so that it will be helpful for the website. Okay, so these are the different type of storage as I already explained you, file system, cookies and all. How all components are connected, I believe this you guys understood because we already have discussed in detail user interface, browser engine, rendering engine, these all things. Now after that, how the browser process work, it will basically fetch the detail from the server. How will get all the file from the server? That is because of the network layer. After that, it will process everything. So where these all components are going to play an important role, rendering engine, JavaScript engine, and UI backend. Then for the display, we have the browser engine. Storage, as I already explained you, we have some local storage where we can store some a small amount of information. This also you guys know resource gathering from the using the network. Then after that, the browser engine will parse this HTML and everything, and it will basically create a tree, and that tree basically we can see on our UI. These all things we are going to discuss in very detail. So like here document, inside the document we have what HTML, then we have the head, then we have the body. There are many components are there. Let's suppose, please see here in this website, if I right click and go to the inspect, and if you just click on the element, not only this website, in entire world, in any website, okay, any website, if you go right click and inspect and go to the element, what the first element you are able to see here? What is the first element we are able to see here?
Doc type.
Document type. What is the second element? HTML. Then after, what is the third element? Head. Then after we have the body. Entire page will be inside what?
Body.
Entire page will be inside the body. So here, first one is the document. After the document, we have what? HTML. Inside the HTML, we have two tags, head and body. There are some component we are mentioning in the head, and entire component, what we are using in the page, these all components will be where? Will be inside the body. So these all things we are going to discuss and we are going to do practice in detail. So normally any web page, when we are seeing any web page will always in this format. We will have the document type, then after we will have the main element HTML. Like here, if I close this one, then you will not get anything. Why? Because the reason is everything is inside what? Everything is inside the HTML. So HTML, inside the HTML, we will have the head and we will have the body. Just understand three tags. Okay, HTML, head and body. What are the things we will have inside the head, inside the body and all? These all things we are going to discuss in detail. So this is what? This is the ideal structure of any HTML page. Okay, so that's all for today's session.